The myth of Moneyball. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney. One name, all passion, no filter. If you are here for a fluff piece or a polite round of golf claps after a 10-2 loss, you're in the wrong dugout. But if you want the uncut, uncensored, green and gold gospel, then grab your rally cap because this is the realest A's show in the game. I'm a Bay Area native who's been riding this roller coaster since '81, back when Ricky ran wild and the Bash Brothers were still brewing. This isn't just a podcast. It's a full-blown commitment to covering the A's like they actually matter, because they do. Every game, every transaction, every relocation rumor from Sacramento to Vegas to Midland to Lansing and yes, to Stockton. And we break it down like your fandom depends on it. Because it does. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button like Nick Kurtz turning on a hanging curb. This is Locked On A's, where we don't tiptoe around the truth. We launch it 450 feet to dead center. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Being an A's fan is the greatest thing in sports, not because it is easy, but because it is real. There was no top-tier payroll, no off-season shopping spree, no promises whistled sweetly in press conferences. Being an A's fan means waking up every year and knowing your team's ownership is going to choose dollars over dingers. The franchise has been run on a simple philosophy: profit first, baseball second. Winning was never the business plan. It was an accident. It was a happy, frustrating, lightning in a bolt accident. For me, the A's are not just a baseball team. They are a reflection of us, the overlooked, the underdogs, the doubted, the left behind, in a world that tells us to line up in order to perceive value. The A's are what happens when the people at the back of the line get their shot. With that being said, I have always struggled with the notion of spending because, to be honest, I like being the underdogs. I liked winning with our payroll. 2012 was much more enjoyable for me than 89. 91. And the A's did win. But I always knew it was not sustainable. And I've wrestled around with Moneyball and how the A's were constructed. And at the end, I want to get your reaction, your thoughts. Was Moneyball a myth? We'll get to that at the end. You hear about what players the A's traded away, what players they didn't sign, what players they let go, but we don't have any names to go along with that. We hear, of course, the usuals, the Giambis, the Chapmans, the Olsons. Let's go through a list. Let's see if they made the right calls. We'll get that to in a bit. First, once upon a time, Moneyball was a feel-good baseball fairy tale. The 2002 Oakland A's brilliant, used number-crunching wizardry and a ragtag roster of misfits to flip baseball on its head. While the Yankees were out here swiping platinum cards, the A's were outsmarting them with spreadsheets and walk rates. Brad Pitt even played Billy Beane. And for a brief, shining moment, nerds ruled the diamond. But fast forward 20 years and the underdog story has morphed into something darker. That revolutionary blueprint for finding hidden gems, well, is it now a billionaire's excuse to hoard cash? In Oakland, Moneyball didn't just jump the shark, it spreadsheeted it, commodified it, and sold its contract to the Marlins. Let's rewind. Back in early 2000s, the A's were swimming in the kiddie pool. While the Yankees did cannonballs in gold-plated lagoons, Billy Beane, flanked by Harvard brainiac Paul T. Podesta, said, hey, screw the system, and turned to sabermetrics, specifically on base percentage, to zig while everyone else zagged. Beane scooped up bargain bin players like Scott Hatteberg, a catcher turned first baseman with knees made of graham crackers, and funky reliever Chad Bradford, whose submarine delivery looked like a man trying to tie his shoes mid-pitch. The 2002 A's, they rattled off 103 wins and a record-breaking 20-game win streak. Cue the Hollywood script. But here's what the movie left out. The A's also had 2 first-round picks, the number 2 overall pick in Mark Mulder and the 9 overall pick in Barry Zito. And let's not forget about the SEC Player of the Year out of Auburn and Timmy Hudson. Oh, did I forget to mention MVP shortstop Miguel Tejada, who didn't know a walk if it walked up and slapped him? Moneyball ignored the stars because they didn't fit the scrappy narrative. The OBP heroes got the glory. The actual game changers got cropped out of the shot. Still, Beane's market hacks works briefly. The problem? Well, once everyone read the book, the cheat code stopped working. On base percentage got pricey. Everyone hired data nerds, and suddenly the A's were trying to out-nerd teams with both analytics and Amex black cards. Boston hired Bill James and won a title in 2004. The Cubs copied the playbook and broke their curse in 2016. Even the Yankees, once the embodiment of Moneyball's villains, started scooping up undervalued talent like it was their birthright. Only they still paid for it. Meanwhile, Oakland's edge vanished like a stolen base in the age of launch angle. Turns out when everybody has the same data, the difference is who's willing to pay the bill. And of course, there's John Fisher. If Billy Beane was the face of Moneyball's rise, Fisher is the final punchline. After buying the team in 2005 with Lou Wolf, Fisher didn't just embrace the Moneyball mindset, he wrapped it around himself like a cloak of invisibility. While other teams used analytics to get smarter and better, Fisher used it as a shield to justify never opening his checkbook. Check this out. From a $40 million payroll in 2002 to a $57 million one in 2023. Yep. Barely a bump despite 2 decades of inflation and billions in league revenue. Meanwhile, the team's value skyrocketed. This isn't baseball. It's Wall Street with a mascot. What started as a scrappy strategy to survive an unfair game became a license to not even try. Other teams that balanced analytics with spending won rings. Red Sox, Astros, Dodgers. But Oakland, yeah, they won. 12 times they made the postseason since 2000. 7th most in all of baseball. But as I mentioned earlier, it was almost an accident. Moneyball turned into Moneyball, a sob story, starring fans watching their team trade away pieces by piece under the guise of progress. Even Tampa Bay, the poster child for efficiency, won playoff games. The A's, yeah, they got to the playoffs and they lost elimination games like it was a team tradition, a lot of pain. But again, the season itself was memorable, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. But it was not sustainable. It gets worse. Moneyball's focus on value didn't reshape front offices. It rewired the entire pay structure. Why give a veteran a fat contract when a rookie with a decent on-base percentage and league minimum salary is close enough? Star closers became disposable. Mid-tier veterans got iced out. Analytics in the wrong hands became a fancy way to say, we don't pay for past performance anymore, Gramps. Albert Pujols said it best. Put a computer on the mound and see if he can throw strikes. And he's right. Baseball is still played by humans, not formulas. Players began to feel like stats with legs. Front offices talk about WAR and projections instead of effort and experience. And when it comes time for contract talks, the same nerds who celebrated you last year will turn around and say, actually, your expected weighted WOBA is mid-translation. You are replaceable, and we'd like a discount. From clubhouse leaders to once reliable veterans, nobody is safe from the algorithm. Even the Hollywood version of Moneyball got the myth twisted. The A's never won a World Series. They didn't even make it past the ALCS. Beane himself called the playoffs a crapshoot, which is code for don't judge me by championships. But baseball does judge by championships. And Moneyball couldn't win the big one in Oakland after 20 years of trying. It's fair to ask, was it genius or just thrift in disguise? By 2025, the A's packed their bags for Las Vegas, as we know. The bitter irony is this: the team that once inspired an entire movement now serves as its cautionary tale. The A's didn't just fall behind. They clung to a busted strategy while the rest of the league evolved. Other franchises blended brains and bankroll. Oakland clung to frugality like it was a religion. Even turned its fans into ghosts at the Coliseum. The revolution served the billionaires, not the bleachers. Moneyball, yes, changed the game. But in the hands of Fisher, it didn't make baseball better. It made losing look like a strategy. The A's deserve better. Baseball deserved better. Because at the end of the day, this sport isn't about squeezing out every last efficiency. It's about heart. It's about soul and actually trying to win. And you can't put that in a spreadsheet. I want to cover who the A's actually lost. What players did they trade away? Did it work out for them? Didn't it work out for them? And I want to get your guys' feedback and thoughts, and what's your opinion on the whole Moneyball deal? Up next. Ever get that last minute itch to hit up a ball game? You know the feeling. You're sitting on your couch. It's a perfect sunny day, and suddenly you're like, why am I not at the ballpark right now? That's where Game Time comes in clutch. It's the fast, easy, no stress way to snag last minute tickets so you can go from maybe to heck yes in a few taps. I've used Game Time myself. 1 minute I'm doom scrolling. Next thing I know, I'm sitting right behind the dish with garlic fries in one hand and a cold drink in another, all without emptying my wallet. And with the money I saved, I grabbed a round for the crew and even treated myself to that overpriced team hat I absolutely didn't need. Worth it. Game Time isn't just convenient. It's a cheat code. Prices actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. And the app shows you crystal clear seat views before you buy. No surprises, no bad angles, just great seats and better memories. Plus, their lowest price guarantee means if you find a better deal elsewhere, you are covered. And if you're an A's diehard like me, check this. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB. So finding killer deals like zone discounts for Giants versus A's next week is as easy as opening the app. Seriously, next time you think you are too late to the party, open Game Time and go make some noise. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. What time is it? Game time! What's up, Bill? Did you see Brown is a free agent and McFarland got DFA'd? I did not see that. I saw Brown. I did see Seth Brown is a free agent. I did not know McFarland got DFA'd. Huh. Wow. I think it's a great move for both. Interesting to see who they would bring up in replace of McFarland. What's up, Gravity? How are you, buddy? Moneyball works great when you have Hudson, Mulder, Zito on the mound, and AL. Yeah, that sure does help, doesn't it? And don't forget about Jermaine Dye in right field as well. He was an all-star with KC. He wasn't bad himself, huh? Terrence Long was pretty damn solid in center as well. But yeah, Moneyball Cowboy, right? You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, the players deserve the credit. And I think Moneyball took away from the idea of the players receiving what credit they did. It went to the front office. It went to the GMs. And there's no question they made some great moves. But the whole idea of it, in my opinion, was a marketing type of gig. On base percentage became valued more as the years went on. But what I do want to do is kind of cover some of the players the A's did lose and who they didn't re-sign, not only during the Moneyball years, but as of late. I mean, we could even go all the way back to Tejada. Tejada's one I just don't understand. I don't understand why we re-sign Tejada. Tejada wanted to stay here, right? MVP in 2002. He was 11th in MVP voting in 2003. And then all of a sudden he wanted to stay in Oakland. And the contract he got with Baltimore wasn't anything crazy. And it was a guy who was right in the middle of his prime. 2004, he was 5th in MVP voting. 2005, 15th. 2006, 20th. He was an all-star in 2008, 23rd in MVP voting in 2009. I mean, it's unbelievable how we didn't re-sign Miguel Tejada. Timmy Hudson, same type of deal, right? He wasn't great for Atlanta. He was a solid pitcher. But again, somebody that wasn't demanding a whole lot of money. 2005, he left the A's after the 2004 season. He didn't re-sign. He went to Atlanta. He was 4th in Cy Young voting in 2010, an all-star with the Giants in 2014. Other than that, he was solid. Nothing special. Zito, yeah, obviously we made a great call on Zito. He won the Cy Young in 2002, all-star at 2006, went to the Giants, was basically a bust for the Giants. And then there's Mulder, right? Mulder went to St. Louis for 4 seasons after he left the A's. Didn't do a whole lot. I think that was the right call. Ramon Hernandez left the A's in 2003. He went to San Diego. Didn't do much with San Diego. Isringhausen, I was okay with. I was okay with Isringhausen. The one thing Moneyball did get right, I think, was the role of the closer. The role of the closer, as far as paying big money for it, I don't know. You look at Isringhausen and who they replaced was Billy Koch. I mean, Billy Koch was pretty damn lights out. In Isringhausen, yeah, he went to St. Louis. He was okay. One all-star appearance. Flea, what's happening, buddy? Yeah, me too, man. I was a big Jermaine Dye guy fan too. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you. I'm curious if Bill C is Bitter Bell from A's Talk. Townie gave me the nickname Salty Tom because that's great. Same with the Durham trade. Durham was, oh man, he was good, man. Yeah, he was really, really good. I mean, there were a number of players, sure, we let go. And again, more Tejada than Giambi. I don't know if Giambi really, for sure, I don't know if Giambi really wanted to there's so many mixed stories on Giambi re-signing with the A's or not, right? What I've read, what I remember is he always wanted to be a Yankee. I didn't think there was any shot at the A's re-signing Giambi. Oh, man, John Mabry was so good. Great call, Gravity. Mid-season, too, wasn't it? Mid-season call, and he was at the top of the order. You talk about just absolutely right. Great call. You're 100% right. You know, everyone forgets about John Mabry. That's a great call, Gravity. 1,000%. Oh, stop it with the Donald. I mean, the problem with the Donaldson trade here, Flea, I don't really blame that on ownership on that. First of all, I don't blame it on. You got to remember also that Donaldson was vocal about a lot of the stuff he had displeasures with. And him and Billy Beane hated each other. Now, Billy Beane as a general manager, I think that's where the whole Moneyball kind of got a little bit to his head. He didn't handle that Donaldson thing right. The other one we didn't handle well, the two I have a big complaint about with the A's is Josh Donaldson and Matt Holliday. Josh Donaldson and Matt Holliday. Yeah, with Toronto, right? Yeah, 100%. Oh, I forget off the top of my head. Flea. Lytle was good in 02. Yeah, he was the 4 starter on that squad. For sure. Really good. Corey Lytle is really good. I was okay. I mean, he was for the most part a journeyman, Grav. And yeah, he was great. He gave us the 4 starters. Remember our 5th starters were? We had like Ted Lilly in that role. And who's the other guy? Gil Heredia, I think, was in that role a little bit too. That's right. Yeah, Harden got us Donaldson. Justin Dusher, 2-time All-Star. Oh, she was filthy. That's all he did, though. I mean, that's the thing with pitchers sometimes, man. But you look at the years recently, right? And who we gave up. The one I wanted to keep, one of my favorite days, still one of my favorite pitchers was Sonny Gray. I love Sonny Gray. You talk about a guy who's just going to fight for you for like 7 innings. He's going to throw pitches. He's going to eat up innings. I miss Sonny Gray. Chapman. Man. Matt Chapman's someone I wish we kept. Sean Murphy. The thing with Sean Murphy is he became expendable when we got Langoliers in the, oh God, what trade was that? In the, why am I missing? What trade was that? It's off the top of my hand. How am I missing that? Olsen, Matt Olsen. Thank you. In the Matt Olsen trade. And so Murphy became expendable. I just wish we got something for Murphy, man. I mean, that's the whole thing. Cargo. God, he was good. And Simeon wanted to stay as well. I didn't think we were able to re-sign Matt Olson, man. Matt Olson was a lot of money. I don't think he was ever going to re-sign. I thought trading him is something we had to do. But Matt Chapman's somebody I wanted to keep, man. Matt Chapman's definitely somebody I wanted to keep. When you really look down the list, Frankie Montas, I was okay with that. You know, I thought of JP Sears. I thought he's going to have a little bit of a better year. But I mean, I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts? I mean, what was Moneyball a myth? I mean, let's capture that in the last few minutes right after this. Guys who got away. Ethier. Jesus, good call. Yeah, Ethier. He was something, huh? Wasn't he? With the Dodgers? Cargo, yes. Edwin, yeah. Nels, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. The one where I think the transaction that really got screwed up was Matt Holliday. But I don't think Matt Holliday wanted to be in Oakland either. And obviously Josh Donaldson. Beane's got to figure that out. And I think at that point, the whole athletic organization, upper management thought that this Moneyball thing was real. And I don't know. Muncie, Matt Stairs. Yeah, Matt Stairs. Right? Yeah, Matt Stairs was awesome, man. Muncie is a great call. 100%. 100%. Yeah. But Barreto, yep, 100%. Yeah, Jesus. I mean, but the whole thing with Chapman was he wanted to be in Oakland. He wasn't a lot of money either. Chapman wasn't asking for the whole world. You could depend on him on a third base. He was a team guy first. He represented your organization. He's a platinum guy. I love Chapman, man. Yep, me too. I tell you guys, I'm telling you, man, I've said it all year long. Keep an eye. Brett Harris has that same presence Matt Chapman had early in his career. Brett Harris is at their same time when they were coming up, same level defensively. I don't think who's that? The A's? No, I don't believe they did. Gravity, unless I'm missing something. I don't believe they did because Toronto didn't sign him. We traded him to Toronto. Toronto, I believe, signed him to a 2-year deal before he went to San Francisco. I don't believe we offered him that. Double check me on that. I don't believe that's correct. I don't believe we did, though. Did they really? I don't remember that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. Remember, we traded Chapman, right? What an all-time Scooter is the guy you had to win. Guy you have to have on your team that wins. I'm going to look up what happened with Chapman. Maybe that's just I'm not forgetting what happened, remembering what happened in that deal. We did trade Chapman. I don't think. I thought the only reason we were going to. I didn't think there was a shot at re-signing. I didn't think we really offered Chapman. And again, I'm going to double check that, and my memory could be affecting me. But yeah, I mean, Simeon was a bad one too. But at the same time, though, guys, I mean, what Texas signed Simeon to was ridiculous. The A's offered him $150 and he turned that down. Why am I not remembering that? Wow. Well, shoot. That's crazy. He was critical of a couple things. He was critical of the fans showing up to the games, and he was critical of ownership as well. He was critical of both. Remember in 18, he was literally towards the end of the season, A's are in contention. Went on the interview, literally begging the fans to show up. I'll check that out. Thank you. Literally checking the fans to show up. They didn't show up, but at the same time, when he went to Toronto, he's extremely, extremely critical of A's management as well and ownership. So, what the real story was, I don't know. That's a lot of money to turn down. Look, oh yeah, Brett Harris. I mean, he's hitting too. I want to know what moves they corresponded to make with TJ McFarland. I didn't see that. I must have missed it. But yeah, man, that whole Moneyball thing, I don't know. I just don't know, man. What's up, Kosher Dave? How you doing, bud? Yeah. Hey, in the Bronx, right, bud? In the Bronx. Hey, always it's I don't care what time of the year it is, right? I don't care what your record is. You play the Yankees or Giants, it's always nice to get a W. So it's going to be Spence on the hill, and we're facing Warren. And Warren dealt against us at Sutter. He was really good. And Spence, and I'd like to see Spence bounce back. He got hit pretty hard his last outing against what was it? Cleveland, I believe. So let's see what happens, guys. I'm doing a mailman so I can get people their bills on this fine Friday. I love it. You're a mailman. I'm doing good. You're a mailman. Got it. Jeez. And you're in Arizona. It must be pretty hot out there, right? Yeah, I would like to see that as well, man. You get 5 good ones out of Spence. That's beautiful. That'd be beautiful, fellas. But yeah, Spence and Warren, let's get a W. Interested to see what the lineup is. 130. Hey, here's the nice thing about early games. It's only 2.5 hours away. All right, guys. You take care. Kosher Dave, Flea, Grav, Bamboo. I'll see you guys all soon, man. I'll be post-game tonight. Later, fellas. Thanks for kicking it with Locked On A's and making us your first listen today. Seriously, I really, really appreciate it more than you know. Now, for your second listen, slide on over to Locked On MLB Game Night. It's like MLB Red Zone. Every game, every night, all season long. Rapid fire highlights, instant analysis, and local hosts breaking it all down like your favorite baseball barstool buddy. Catch MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts.